How to Create a Glitch Monologues Season 41 Chapter 9. This is Season 41 of How to Create a Glitch in the Matrix Monologues Episode 9. In this episode, we will be talking about inception. Now, in past episodes, we described how communication is multi-layered, with 9 levels of intersection between ourselves and others. In the examples given in previous episodes, we talked about how in every exchange between 2 or more people there are 9 different dialogues corresponding to 9 different conversations, each with its own subjects, themes and outcomes. For example, you may enter a deposition and there is the mundane conversation which corresponds to a discussion of some legal case. But above or below that, there may be a conversation about your romantic life. The point is that these dialogues, occurring in 9 different parallel spaces, either in dissonant consensualities or in parallel spaces, represent real dialogues, which get incorporated into the mainstream of your conscious attention through parsimony. The point is, these discussions can produce changes in your overriding behavior. For example, in the romantic conversation, one lawyer may give the other lawyer tips about their romantic choices which lead to a change in behavior and asking another woman out. This conversation may continue with each intersection of the 2 lawyers, unbeknown to either of them. Multipolar tonic-dominant relationships are crucial to this process, which involves continuity between individuals producing longer dialogues. In other words, in any of the 9 dialogues, your mind can be seeded with corresponding behaviors, which manifest unconsciously in your action without your knowledge. I describe this podcast as a monologue, but in truth, every episode is a multi-layered conversation with the audience, producing shifts and changes in behavior. This form of seeding is deference, in that it reflects meeting the expectations of your conversation partner, when those expectations produce some change in behavior. Further, since dissonant consensualities represent spaces where others provide affirmatory narratives, these affirmatory narratives seed the corresponding impulses within the context of our linear action. In a way, this process, termed inception, represents a more fulsome understanding of how social actors are interwoven through the professional and personal relationships. Now, trauma can often create fault lines in the unconscious mind which prevent integration of the corresponding seeded behaviors. Individuals possess defense mechanisms around these behaviors, which develop in response to trauma, preventing others from producing behavioral modification unconsciously through dissonant consensualities or through any of the dialogues of the 9 plates. In a way, decontextualization is one such defense mechanism, founded upon the isolation of given behaviors within dissonant spaces. That is to say, that dissonant spaces are often the manifestation of cognitive dissonance created around traumatic experiences. A mind without trauma, if such a thing existed, would seamlessly integrate the corresponding 9 dialogues into their behavior, producing a continuous stream of conscious experience. Such a mind would experience little dislocation created by such dissonant spaces. A mind which creates dissonant consensualities is a mind which cannot verbalize the corresponding behaviors or integrate them into the conscious mind. Dissonant consensualities are thus a manifestation of an interior fracturing created by traumatic experiences. Thus, the 9 plates find their origin in a recognition that the body as an active participant in this process of integration are different modalities of that experience. Separation of the plates is fundamentally driven by this fracturing process, but it merely exposes the existing stratification of our experience according to the modalities of our body. Thus, in observing multiplicity in others, is laying bare the natural fractures of the modalities of human experience. That's the end of the podcast for today. If you enjoyed it, please comment, like and subscribe.